What's up, guys? Classic Metal here. It is hot as balls. It is a very Tennessee humid summer day, summer evening. I am sweating bullets. I love my recording room here, but the only real downfall, aside from the traffic sometimes outside, is that there is no airflow in here in the summertime. So it does get a little warm. If you see me just pouring sweat, don't worry. I'm not having a heart attack or anything. It's just very, very hot. Trying to stay hydrated. I hope you guys are staying safe, all that good stuff. Figured I would jump back on the CD collection. What was supposed to be a small break turned into a very long break. That sometimes breaks are needed on stuff like this, especially with the like this series. I'm 100 and something videos in now. But once you take a break, especially with YouTube, it just feels like it's harder and harder to get back on it. But here we are, a couple months later, and we're going to get back on it. Just going to jump into this. First up, we have some black metal out of Poland. This is Moon Tower with the Spirits of the Antichrist. Moon Tower has a ton of releases under the belt. After getting this, I heard that there were some rumblings that maybe this band has some sketchiness going on. I couldn't really find any of the sketchiness in this particular album, as far as like the imagery, lyrics, that type stuff. I didn't really see anything that posed any red flags to me. But as far as the music goes, I really dig this very dark, kind of occult, anti-Christian black metal, pretty good, but just be aware that there are some rumblings as far as the sketch type stuff. It might be a bit more prevalent on some of their other releases. I don't know. That is the only release that I have from those guys, or it could just be a. I don't really have a lot of information on that band whatsoever. So we'll just move on. Next up, a band that a lot of you know or should know. This is Morbid Angel with their debut full length Altars of Madness. This is the I think this reissue came out in 2006. It's the two disc version. It's still, as you can tell from the case, very well worn. I'm not going to flip it around and show you guys the DVD that's with this. It has like a live DVD from a performance in 1989, but the disc on the DVD pretty much matches that disc. This tray in it, when I open it up, the DVD just falls out. But you guys know Morbid Angel. We don't have to spend just too much time with all of their releases. I am missing a couple of their full lengths, unfortunately. The sophomore release, Blessed Are the Sick. I don't have that one. I definitely need to put that one on the want list. I believe I had it at one point. I just, as I was going through these, I was kind of surprised that it wasn't there. I do have the compilation that was released the same year as that full length. This is the Abominations of Desolation. Has some of their 80s demo type stuff going on this, but it's still pretty solid. I mean, it is definitely Morbid Angel. Good listen, nonetheless. Next up, I have what is my favorite of the Morbid Angel full lengths. This is Covenant. This and Domination are kind of like my favorite kind of era of Morbid Angel. I'm going to be one of those people. I know it's kind of like the consensus from a lot of people that Covenant is their favorite. I hate to be on the bandwagon there, but this is definitely my favorite release from the band. I am missing formulas as well, unfortunately, but Domination, another solid release. As I was saying, I can't really fault or find anything wrong with this or Covenant. So we have Gateways to Annihilation. I had to change the case out on this one. It was just wore out and broken, but changed it out. Good stuff. A lot of these are released through Earache Records. They release quite a bit of the Morbid Angel discography. I guess they own the rights to pretty much the majority of the earlier discography anyway. Next up, we have Heretic. This is another one of those two disc versions. I'm not going to show the second disc because same thing as I was saying before, the second disc will fall out. I have horrible luck with these two disc trays. These ones that had the bonus disc that flip open. The back tray where the bonus disc is always seems to get cracked or something where the disc just falls out. But Heretic got a lot of hate from people. I think maybe it was a bit more progressive than some of the other Morbid Angel releases. I don't know. I dig the album. The bonus disc, the bonus levels or whatever they call it. Not a huge fan of that one, but the actual full length I did enjoy. Uh, Probably my least favorite Morbid Angel release. This is Allude to Venom Insanus. I think that's another me being on a bandwagon there because I think it's kind of regarded as their worst album. I don't hate it. There are some people that absolutely just hate this release. I do find it listenable. I've owned probably a dozen copies of this between grab bags and especially those Season of Mist grab bags. They were wearing me out with this particular release. And this one has grown on me a little bit. I did dislike it quite a bit early on when I was listening to it. I think I was just let down because I had waited so long for more Morbid Angel material, and um, myself and a lot of people probably felt that same way. I do remember a video where I just tossed a copy of this because I had gotten like so many of these in grab bag after grab bag after grab bag. Then this their latest full length almost felt like a bit of a return to form from Morbid Angel. This is Kingdoms Disdained. I found like this to be a very solid album. Is it old Morbid Angel? No. I mean, you're not. Sometimes that those old eras and old albums are just gone. You have to enjoy those and just appreciate what you get in the future. Kingdoms Disdained, it was a solid release. I mean, are we ever going to get another Covenant? No, but next up, we have a band out of Japan. This is a release that came out, I think, around 2017, I want to say. This is Morbid Art with The Cult of Flesh. Straightforward death metal, gets a bit thrashy at times, but it is a solid little release here. This was released on Soul Eraser Records, a label that I'm not just super familiar with, but if this album or EP is any, I guess album, it's 10 tracks. If this album is any, uh, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but if the rest of the stuff on their label matches the quality of that album, then Solar Racer may have some good stuff under the belt. Next up, we have some thrashy. It's kind of death metal infused thrash. It leans into the thrash, I think, a bit more than the death metal. This is Morbid Breath with in the in the Hand of the Reaper. Went absolutely blank, and I shouldn't have because I love this EP. Um, Killer little demo. This band is from Sweden. I want to say. I think it's a side project of some members of other bands. I believe it came out digitally in 2021. Was released physically in 2022. I'm pretty positive it was on my end of the year list that year. I absolutely love this. They definitely wear their influences on their sleeve. There is Morbid Angel influence. I mean, with the name, you kind of figure that's coming. Slayer, there's some heavy Slayer influence going on this as well, but absolutely love this. I haven't listened to it in a bit, but I definitely I may leave that one out to give it a spin here in the very near future. Now that kind of that's one good thing, and I've missed doing these videos and rediscovering gems in my own collection that I haven't that's been a bit neglected. Next up, we have some thrash metal. This is a band out of New Jersey, I believe. This is their second full length entitled Ungodly Infestation. This is Morbid Cross. It's kind of horror themed thrash metal. And this is another one of those bands that wears their influences on their sleeve as well. Very solid stuff. I mean, they have their own sound, but there's some Exciter influence going on this. And they even have a track on here called Exciter. So definitely check out Morbid Cross. I haven't heard anything. I don't know if they have anything new in the works or out. Haven't heard much from them lately, but I did enjoy that full length. Next up, we have a one-man death metal project out of Israel. This is Morbid Crucifixion with their latest full length. I say latest, but it's been out about 10 years. Decaying Human Flesh. I believe the guy behind this is moniker is like Rot, Screw Rot, or something like that. It's very funny to me, but he is a very capable musician because this is some pretty solid death metal here. My favorite of the three, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Rot, Screw Rot. But as far as their three full lengths go, this one is definitely my favorite of the three. This was released through Severed Records. Next up, another reissue. This is Morbid Saint with their Spectrum of Death. I knew it was Spectrum of Death, but the D is very elongated on that. I was like, is there another word that I've missed all these years there? This is the reissue. As I was saying, it's the 2-disc version through um, Pacheco and Icarus Music. I'm not going to flip it around because this one is busted as well, and I will lose the second disc trying to show you guys. It has the Spectrum of Death full length. It has the Black Death, the Black Tape demo from 1992, Destruction System, and then it has 2010 through 2011 like demo recordings on that second disc. It's kind of like spans the Morbid Saint um, timeline there. Next up, we have some black metal. It's kind of black metal fused with speed metal. It's pretty solid. This is Morbid Slaughter with Torment in the Crypt. This has been out for a little bit. That has a demo rehearsal from 2010 on this as well. So it has a little bit. It's a bit seasoned, I would say. The Digipack has seen better days. As you can see, I wore this out quite a bit when I first got it. I've had this for quite some time now. Um, I believe I got this back from Fossil Dungeon when Fossil Dungeon was still around and doing their little mixed bags of like grab bag type mystery box deals. There is a full length that followed this. I do not own that. At some point, I would like to get my hands on that, but unfortunately, I don't have that one. Next up, we have one that I just recently picked up. I believe I showed this in that last Paragon Records update that I did with the underground stuff. This is Morbid Stench with Doom and Putrefaction. Killer release, very doomy death metal, stellar release. This came out in 2019 through Putrid Cult. They have another full length that came out, I think, in 2022, and I was starting to check. I enjoyed this debut so much that I had started checking out that 2022 full length. I enjoyed it as well. It is definitely on my want list now, so at some point I'm going to try to hunt that one down. We scoot the next stack up, and we'll keep on marching through. Next up, we have a band out of Arkansas. I picked this up when I saw them live. I've seen them live a couple times, and they always put on a very good show. This is Morbid Visions with Cycle of Cessation, released through Maggot Stomp in 2022. Um, Little 4-track EP demo. Looking forward to hearing a full length from these guys because they just absolutely tear it up. I saw them play. I think the last time that I saw them play, it was with that show with Grotesqueries and Flesh Rot and Ritual Fog. It was a killer death metal show. Next up, we have some death metal out of Finland. This is Morbific with their debut full length entitled Ominous Seep of Putridity. Killer release. I mean, definitely old school death metal at its finest. I loved this album. They released the sophomore album a year after this, and it's good as well, but Ominous Seep of Putridity is just way up there for me. I absolutely love that album. I do own the follow-up. This one is entitled Squirm Beyond the Mortal Realm. Very solid release in its own right. Released through Memento Mori. I believe this one came out in 21, and it's good in its own right, but that debut full length is just a monster. I am sweating, and I'm going to try to get through these. I know you guys can probably see it. I'm probably shining all over the place. Next up, we have some bestial black metal, black and death metal. This is I'm going to butcher it. Morbosidad with the Muerte de Cristo in Golgotha. Sounds like it's a band from overseas or from way down south, but they're actually from California. Pretty good stuff. It is very evil, very occult sounding stuff. They have a ton of releases under the belt. This is the only one that I own. I may have picked this up from Life After Death. It was either Life After Death or Paragon. I've had it for a little while now, but it is a solid release. Next up, we have some progressive death metal out of Sweden. This is Morbus Kron with their debut full length entitled Sleepers in the Rift. They don't get just overly progressive, not as much as you would expect with that artwork, and I absolutely love that artwork. This one was released through Pulverized Records. It's been out for a minute, 2011. Man, I'm getting old. It feels like 2011 was almost just yesterday. Good solid material here. Definitely dig this one. Also have their second full length that came out through Century Media Records. This one is entitled, I believe, Sweven is how you pronounce that. They're Swedish. This one came out in 2014, a bit more progressive than that debut full length. I do like this one still quite a bit as well. Unfortunately, the band is disbanded, so we won't get any more material. But those two full lengths, I definitely do highly recommend for you guys. Next up, we have some black metal. Gets into that black doom territory. Not so much on this release, but the band does in latter releases. This is Moorcroft with I'm gonna butcher it. Peyron, Trinitas Primitive, Trinitas Primite Opus. This is Brazilian black metal. I'm just gonna say black metal. I mean, it has black and doom on this as well, but this is early material from the band. It's a compilation of their like late '90s demos. The production on those is a bit raw. This could be a bit of a hard listen. I dig it, but as far as some people go, it would not be like a beginner album for somebody just getting into black metal and black and doom and black and things. You would probably chase them far away with that release. They had some other releases came out, and then but I just kind of uh, hadn't checked anything out from the band, and then recently I picked this up. I believe it came out in 2022. It is their latest full length, so it's about 20 years in between releases here from the band. This one is entitled De Pessimism Philosophium et Dogma Nihilistic. It's in a slipcase. Obviously, this is still Moorcroft. I like the artwork on the jewel case part better than the slipcase artwork. I mean, I would just be drawn in and intrigued and want to check something out just from that artwork. This one definitely has a bit more of the Doom, Black and Doom. The production value is leaps and bounds ahead of some of that demo material from the late '90s. Definitely more seasoned musicianship going on this. Very solid release. Next up, we have a Dutch pagan black metal. This is Mordehof with, I'm going to butcher it, Bloodrock, Verden et Christic Levin. Yeah, it says music, art, ideology, no politics right there on the back through New Era Productions. So I'm hoping there's nothing sketchy going on with this one. I have no reason to think so. So it just once you get into that pagan stuff like that, there's a whole can of worms of sketchiness which is waiting to be opened, and sometimes you're a bit surprised when you find it. But I haven't found anything from this project, and I hope I don't, because I absolutely love that. I mean, wipe the sweat out of my eyes, and we're gonna get through this. Next up, we have some death metal. Got this through the Deathgasm Records grab bag that I did. It's been a while, like years now, but this is Mordbrand with Imago. This is the debut full length from this band. Very solid release. This was kind of my introduction into that band, and it was nice to get this on a physical format. It is still the only release that I own from them, but at some point I would like to get some more material from them in the collection. Next up, we have some melodic death metal from Black Lion Records. There's a lot of melodic black. Did I say black metal? It's melodic death metal There's a lot of melodic black metal, death metal uh, on that label, and this fits right in with some of the counterparts there. This is More Denial with The Plague. Pretty solid. I haven't returned to it as much as I thought I was going to upon first listening to it, but I do. I think this is another one that I might set to the side and kind of revisit with some of the ways of the world since this has been released. This was released in 2017. The Plague was yet to come. Next up, we have some black metal. This is Moored Hell with Suffer in Hell. This is some dark, dark, dark material. There we go. I mean, this is black metal the way black metal was meant to be. It's just perverse, evil, dark stuff. This was released through Pagan Records. I can't remember where this band is from. I got this from Paragon Records. It was a bit of a blind buy when I picked it up. And I felt like when I was listening to this, that just listening to this album was sending me straight to hell. And I mean that in the absolute best way possible. See if I can get the slipcase, the O card on this is very, very tight. I'm actually surprised that I got it off so easy in the video because I just had trouble getting it back on there, and I'll probably struggle next time I want to listen to that, getting it off of there. And then we're going to finish up with one more black metal release. This is Mordian with Under the Black Frost. I believe this is a project out of Germany. This is a demo that came out years and years and years ago, and they just recently released a full length. I did not know that until I was getting ready for this video, so I'm going to have to hunt that one down and give it a listen as well. This was released through Metal Throne Productions. Very solid EP demo material here. I enjoyed this one quite a bit, so I am stoked to see kind of how the band has either progressed or the sound has progressed between this over the years to what they just put out. So that's all for this video. I'm going to try to keep these coming. I'm sorry I had such a long break, but as I was saying earlier, sometimes once you take those little breaks from stuff, especially with YouTube, it's so hard to get motivated to get back on track and get back on it. Hope you dads out there have a good Father's Day tomorrow. Think I'm going to Memphis for a show at Growlers tomorrow night. It's like a Father's Day massacre. It's a lot of bands that I've seen before. I think there's two that I've seen and two that I haven't. So hopefully it'll be a good time. That's all I've got for today. As always, thank you guys for watching. Stay classy, stay metal, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys soon. I promise.